I'm gonna be completely real with you guys. This is the second time I'm recording this video. The first time I recorded it, I recorded a whole video and there was no audio. It's not rocket science. You guys know what I'm gonna be talking about in this video. Last night's game, meaning I have to talk about last night's game again. Happy New Year! I hope you guys had a safe New Year's Eve and have a pleasant New Year. But let's talk about the last thing that happened in 2020. Hopefully, bad thing that happened for a lot of us in 2020. And that was the New York Knicks against the Raptors. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? Your boy CK2K here, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. If you haven't already, join the CK Crew. It's right there next to the subscribe button. New Year. Guys, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a pleasant and safe New Year's Eve. Hope you guys were all practicing your social distancing and being smart with who you were celebrating the New Year with. The last thing we need to do is have this thing carry on for a whole nother year. Let's be safe. Let's work through this together, and let's be smart. All right. Now, that being said, I couldn't even say the segment without laughing. I'm telling us to be smart, and then now I'm going to talk to New York Knicks fans, because you know being a New York Knicks fan is anything but smart. Love my team. I love my team to death, but man, was last night rough to watch. Now, here's the thing. We shot terribly. We shot terribly. Like, we shot really bad to the point where RJ Barrett and Reggie Bullock shot a combined 0 of 17 from the three-point line yesterday. 0 of 17. The only 3 threes we made, 2 of them from Kevin Knox, who was the homer, and 1 from Austin Rivers, who just came back from this game. Julius Randle, who has been shooting lights out, was not able to make a single 3. Reggie Bullock, who's supposed to be our shot, not able to make a 3. I go down the list, not able to make a 3. You know who didn't shoot one and still wouldn't have been able to make a 3? Mitchell Robinson, not able to make a 3. We couldn't shoot last night. We just couldn't shoot. To be real with you guys, I had no problem with the game as a whole. I know that's probably weird to say because we lost by 17 points, but as a whole, we were playing solid with them for being as shorthanded as we were. And not to mention, they were pretty shorthanded because they were playing without Pascal Siakam, who apparently got himself in some trouble for leaving the game earlier, the game prior. I had no idea about that. Like I told you guys in the live stream yesterday, I have not watched a single Raptors game this season. I've been watching a lot of basketball, just Raptors was not one of the games I got around to watching. I just knew they were 0-3, but I didn't know why. And I saw it yesterday, and people were telling me that it's the fact that their lack of presence in the paint, and we took advantage of that in some instances. I feel like we could have done more of it, Mitchell Robinson. But for the most part, I feel like we did a good job taking advantage of the inside, but at the same time, we made it easy on them when we were missing so many shots. So all they had to do was pack the inside with everything they got and force us to shoot the 3 because we weren't making a damn 3. We shot 8.6% from the three-point line last night. That's terrible. But at least give me 10%. I got the RJ Barrett haters in my ear because he had another terrible shooting night. He was a 4 for 19 from the field, 21% from the field, was 4 for 5 from the free throw line. Got to give him some credit for that. He did good on the other side, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, did have 3 turnovers. He was a -20, the highest of the game or the lowest of the game, whichever way you want to look at it. He was the lowest of the game at a -20, right in front of Julius Randle, who was a -18 right behind him. Well, Julius Randle didn't have a terrible game. He shot 41% from the field, did not make his 3 like I had mentioned. He himself only missed 1 free throw, which is a plus for him as well. Still got his double-double, 5 assists. He was doing Julius Randle things, at least for 2020, 2021 Julius Randle type things. But RJ Barrett has been garnering a lot of hate as of late. You know, after having a solid start to the season, all the RJ Barrett haters are coming out in full force because he's not able to make the shot the way that a lot of people were hoping he'd be able to make his shot. And all I gotta say is this, and this is not only just for a message about RJ Barrett or any other Knick I may talk about in this video. The message is this. This is only the 5th game. RJ Barrett showed us a lot of flashes of a lot of things that are going right. You're hearing Tom Thibodeau, who is not one to compliment players very often, is going in saying a lot of good things about RJ Barrett and what his game is turning into. Give it time. 5 games in, we'll be okay. The same way I was telling you guys not to take those wins too high, do not take these losses too high. Do not take these performances too high or too low. That being said, I think Julius Randle has garnered all of the applause that he's gotten. I know I'm here telling you not to take things too high, too low, but Julius Randle, he deserves what he's getting. He deserves all the applause because he is playing a lot better now, and it's more than just his stats. It's how he's playing the game now compared to how we had to watch him play last year. But at the same time with RJ Barrett, give it some time. You know somebody else who's not shooting well at all from the field in the NBA right now? Somebody who I know will not be playing this bad the entire year. That's Luka Doncic. RJ Barrett's going to be fine. Give him some time. I know a lot of you guys still going to have some, but CK, this and that, and the third. I know it's still going to come, which is fine. But at the same time, just remember this. When we're in game 28 or game 27 or game 40 of the season and RJ Barrett is all of a sudden playing really well, or even if he's playing bad, then it's a different conversation. But for right now, 5 games in, I'm not too worried about it. What else I'm not worried about is Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers gave me a solid performance for not playing any training, not having any training camp, for not playing any preseason games, for not being able to have as much experience as he's had this offseason. I thought Austin Rivers played really solid for us. 3 for 6 from the field, shot 50% from the field, was one of the only people, there's only 2 people that made threes for us in this game, and it was him and Kevin Knox, like I mentioned. He did a good job with that. Also gave us 5 assists and a steal. He looked good. He looked spry. He looked like he was healthy. It looks like he's just trying to get back to game speed, but Austin Rivers can definitely be a spark for us off the bench. We got a lot of sparks, which is what we need. You need sparks to build a fire, right? Yo, yeah, that's 2 for 2, bro. And last but not least, we got to talk about my boy, Mr. Kevin Knox. Now, mind you, the homer, he was home. Kevin Knox is a Tampa product, and he was at home playing in front of his crowd. His family was at the game. Didn't get to see him because they were probably somewhere in the stands where they weren't close enough to them to say anything, but he was able to see his mom and dad who were in the crowd watching him play. Now, he played well. He came out aggressive early. Like, this was, I had tweeted, this was 2018 Kevin Knox we were seeing. He was going out there looking like he was trying to be the primary option. Kevin Knox shot 35% from the field, but he was aggressive in a 5 for 14 shooting night, 2 for 8 at the three-point line. I feel like in the first half, he was doing solid, but once the second half came, he meshed with the rest of the team that just could not get a bucket. 4 for 5 from the line, but also giving us another solid rebounding night with 6 boards. I like Kevin Knox's play. We got to see him play the 4 a little bit more in this game, and I think that is the best position for him. I know a lot of you guys disagree because a lot of you guys feel that he's not strong enough. I think the opposite. I think that is one of his strengths. I think he is a stronger player than we give him credit to be. I think he is not strong in the legs, but he definitely has a stronger upper body, and we see that with his screens, and that's why he's being utilized more because of a lot of pick and pop and a pick and roll play. It just works for him. So I feel like he would be a solid 4 option for us. But again, I know there's only a few people that agree with me on that. But all that being said, in a game where there wasn't much excitement or wasn't much to really be happy about, Kevin Knox was really a nice little bright side. And hopefully this is something we see more of Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox has been playing well for us all season. The stats don't really add up to it. He still has his mishaps on the defensive end, but even that is something he's been improving. But at least from the scoring side of it, he went out there and he was very aggressive. And I feel like that's something we can see a lot of. I mean, obviously, Tom Thibodeau really likes Kevin Knox. This is the first time since Fizdale in Kevin Knox's first season, we're seeing Kevin Knox being featured in a lot of offensive sets and being played the way he's being played. He's playing the most minutes off the bench with 31 minutes. He even played more minutes than Mitchell Robinson and Elfrid Payton, who were starters. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Knox, you can see that Tom Thibodeau really likes what Kevin Knox can bring and what he is bringing to the table, and I'm a fan of that. Hopefully this is something as well that continues as the season goes on. But I mean, there's not much else to mention with this game. The game was what it was. It was a bad shooting night. We weren't able to stick with it, and we lost by 17 points. The Raptors barely got to 100. I definitely think this is one that we probably could have stolen, could have won, but we didn't, and that's because we just could not hit the shot, and we made it easier for the Raptors because their weakness is their interior defense. They don't have an interior defense. Losing Ibaka, losing Marc Gasol, and having guys like Aaron Baines, who is a solid, muscle man and can play some solid defense at time to time, but he is no Marc Gasol. Same goes for Chris Boucher, who is probably weighs just as much as guys that we have at the guard position. You know what I'm saying? We didn't take advantage of scoring in the paint, and that's something that I really wanted to see more out of Julius Randle. But Julius Randle too was seeing a lot of doubles and some triple teams in this game. So a lot of other guys, we should have been using our strength in playing inside, but the problem is we were just settling for a lot of threes, and we were not hitting them that last night. And I feel like that was the biggest part as to why we lost that game. But we'll see. Hopefully that's something that we find out. I'm sure Tom Thibodeau's letting them know that post game. But what were your thoughts about the game? I mean, not much to talk about. It was a loss. Let's move on to our next games. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts on other things because I'm going to be reading the comments of the video. All right, let's get to some of these comments. And a lot of them are coming with Julius Randle because the last video outside of the live I did yesterday, shout out to everybody who came to the live, a lot of support, a lot of fun going into New Year. But the last video I posted was talking about Julius Randle's triple-double, and this one's coming from Samad Raham, who was talking, or Rahman, excuse me, Samad Rahman. I think I said your name right. Let me know if I said your name wrong, right? He said, I understand we want to still trade Randle, but I do feel like he's fitting the new system really well and could be an asset. He looks like he's really starting to get it and embrace the point forward role. Am I alone in thinking this? No, like you mentioned in the beginning, I'm still part of the we need to move Julius Randle team. I still think that, especially now with how he's playing, we could get something solid out of it. Hell, we could probably get another draft pick, or we could get another solid piece, another solid glue guy that we need for this team to build along the guys that we are rebuilding with organically. Who knows what kind of trade we can get out of Julius Randle, but I still believe a trade for Julius Randle makes more sense than us moving forward Julius Randle. But in that same breath, if Julius Randle plays the way he's played in these first 5 games, hell, in the majority of the games of the preseason, if he continues to play this way, we should probably consider keeping him long term, because this might be the newer version of Julius Randle, because he's finally in a system that works for him and that plays to his strengths. This is the first time in, I want to say, his career where he's had a coach to this level that's used Julius Randle the right way. I mean, having guys like Luke Walton in LA, or having Alvin Gentry, who didn't really know what was going on with that team that he had in New Orleans that year, because that was the year before Anthony Davis was traded, as well as him being hurt. So he hasn't had the best situation that would really feed to his game, and this is the first time that might be the case. So if we consider keeping him long term, and if he plays like this, that might be something to consider. The only big glowing factor that could stop that is the fact that we drafted Obi Toppin. He is our 8th overall pick. He is hopefully our future, but our future now, because like we mentioned all the time, he is 22 going on 23. Like, you got to realize that, is this the guy that we're going to go forward with or not? And they play the same position. So there's so many factors about it. But if he does continue at this pace and playing this way for the rest of this season, it might be something to consider, and it results in wins and good play. It might be something to consider keeping them. But I hear you, Samad. I hear you. Long story short, I hear you. Nick saying, man, there's something about Tibbs and this team that I like. In past years, up 10 to teams like Cavs, I would be worried, but I just trust Tibbs in his adjustments. You just feel like he'll do everything he can to win. Yeah, we're seeing it. I mean, I'm still getting used to this 8-man rotation. I'm a 10-man guy, especially when you're playing 82, 72 game season, and B, when you have a team full of younger guys. Like, I think it just makes more sense that you play a 10-man rotation. But Tibbs is making the 8-man rotation work. You're seeing a lot of guys play higher minutes, but you're right. It's a different vibe and a different feel that you're getting from this team and from what we're seeing in these rotations than we have in the past. You actually feel like they're competing every single night. Mind you, we're only 5 games in, so don't be too high, too low. But at the same time, you're seeing the difference in the attitude from these players. And I think it has a lot to do with also some of these guys that we brought in free agency that are coming from winning franchises, or franchises that have been in the playoffs, that are able to help keep that kind of energy and that kind of thought process for these younger guys that haven't been through that. So I hear you, Nick. I hear you. The Thibodeau effect is in full effect, and I like it. Wendell Wallen. At first, I was like, "What do you mean?" But then I realized he's singing the song. He's like, "It's too late to apologize. It's too late." Oh my God, I love y'all, man. Much love to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on everything that was mentioned in this video, from the game against the Raptors. If you guys are throwing that away and you don't want to talk about it, I'm with you on that. Let's move on to the next game. What are your guys' thoughts on the comments that was read in the comment? That English? What do you guys think about the comments that were read in the comments of the video? Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. Maybe yours will get chosen in the next video. Happy New Year. All love. You guys know what it is. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to like this video, hit the join button if you want to be a part of CK Crew members. Okay, new merch is about to drop. I'm so excited. A lot of the old merch is going to be gone, like the New York Knicks shirt. Even though Kevin Knox is playing well right now, I might have to retire this design. So if you want to go get it, Go get it now, but new designs on its way. And for all the CK Crew members, you get a discount. It is lit. Let me know your thoughts on everything. You guys know what it is. Let's get it. See you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Happy New Year and peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes. And I wonder if this is all I'll know.